Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Dave Guerra. This is the Weekly Leader. And in this show is where I take two current events, I put my leadership spin on them. We break them down, we dissect them, put my leadership spin on them, and then we take one leadership issue and we break that down and we talk about it and what I give you my 10 cents worth. There we go. I know YouTube, it's free, but it's still 10 cents, so why not? So without delay, let's get this show started. Alrighty, thing number one, let's get rid of it. It's the elephant in the room. It's the thing everyone has been talking about again, and that is the slap heard around the world. And my spin on this, and it's got it's got to do with both individuals because again, two human beings were involved in a physical altercation. It didn't exceed but one, so it was technically assault, one-sided assault. The other gentleman stood there, took it like a man, showed great poise, compassion, professionalism, and compassion in the sense that, you know what, this is not the time nor the place to elevate this or escalate this. So he showed great restraint, and for that, kudos to him. The other individual, you know, whatever it was that broke the camel's back, whatever the issues are, be in his personal life, the public stage is not the place to settle that. The public stage is not for that. There's stuff behind the cameras, behind the scenes, off the stage where you handle those issues, and you handle that professionally, genuinely, authentically, like a human being. It's not about being a man. It's not about any of that. You know, I understand he was quote unquote defending his woman, but there's been worse stuff than that being said, and not about the supposed medical condition. And I say supposed because again, I do not know that individual's medical history. I don't know their HIPAA status. So again, I don't know it. So everybody else might say it. I don't know it. I haven't seen their records. They haven't said, hey, Dave, here are my medical records. And, you know, this is what it says. I don't know that. So take into consideration that, again, we only know what other people tell us. However, what we saw, the whole world saw, because it was a worldwide global event, and everyone saw the violence in the workplace just occur right there. That was violence in the workplace to its truest, purest form. There's nothing else around it. So, with that being said, what is the American Motion Picture Association, Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the Academy, going to do about it? Sure, they've basically asked him to resign, which he did. The individual did, the one who initiated the assault, the assaulter, yes. And now he's gone. But again, what is that going to do going forward for everyone that was on that stage? Presenting, everyone that was performing, everyone that was called and asked to be there. What did the Academy do to protect those individuals? What are they going to do to protect them? I guarantee you, if it had been me that I ran up there and I said, hey, don't call somebody else's wife a name, and I would have been tackled before I had taken that first step onto the stage. So does celebrity and elitism have its privilege? Yes, it does. It was very much well shown, well defined, well executed, in the sense that they did nothing to protect the individual that was there to present, that was there working on behalf of the Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. So the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. There we go. So they were there working on that behalf. Otherwise, it would just be somebody from one department presenting, and here's this. You know, again, they want increased ratings, so they get these stars, these celebrities, these individuals that appear in motion pictures to present the awards. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, they're doing so representing the Academy. So again, the question to the Academy is going forward, what are you doing to protect the employees, the individuals you have there, whether you pay them or not? I mean, they still get that, $1,000 swag bag. So technically they are receiving some form of payment to be in there. So again, what are they doing to prevent, or what are they going to do to prevent next year's possible, because people are going to tune in just to see who's going to slap who next. That's the only reason people are going to tune in. I know I prior to the show, I had said I'm not going to tune in. There's nothing there for me anymore. It just doesn't really appeal to me. And then this happened. So now, boom, there go the ratings, right through the roof. Now everybody's talking about it. Next year, I guarantee you, it's not going to be who won best foreign screenplay adaptation from a book. No, it's going to be who is going to assault who. What's the next level? How are they going to top last year's spectacle? And it's going to happen. That's why everybody's going to tune in. And that's sad, because they want to see workplace violence. And that's what nobody wants. Nobody wants any workplace violence. So it becomes a situation that we must hold any and all organizations to a standard of what are you doing to protect the people that are there on your behalf? What are you doing there to protect them? What is there to stop someone from escalating from a slap to an actual couple of haymakers? What's there to stop someone from actually going out there and bringing a weapon, a deadly weapon, and committing grievous assault, deadly assault? Then what? Oh, sure, they'll stop you if you're just a regular person, but if you're one of those Hollywood elites that just starting to lose it, it happens. They get out there, they start losing it. I mean, there's actors that are scared of still to this day, and the one I'm most scared of is the one that said that he was offended at the standing ovation, and it's like, that's like no. So what I'm getting at is, be careful out there. And workplaces, leaders, individuals, you need to stand right up front and say, look, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to mitigate the situation. Here's how we're going to bring this, and we're going to establish some controls going forward. But if you don't, then people are just going to pull up a lawn chair and watch the train wreck unfold. It's just that simple. Individuals, you're in leadership, you're responsible for other people. What are you doing to take care of them in the inevitability of something happening? It's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's going to happen. To what degree, we don't know, but something will happen. And what are you doing now, today, to help lessen that, or to prevent that, or to just flat out address it right from the very beginning? Leaders, it is your responsibility to look out, care for those individuals you're charged with taking care of, whether they're permanent hires, full-time employees, part-time employees, contractual employees, temporary employees. They're there to make a presentation. Again, what are you doing to take care of them? All right, number 2, second story, Taylor Hawkins. Okay, I just know he's the drummer of the Foo Fighters. He passed away, and he passed away under certain situations, certain circumstances, certain things were going on, and he was out of the country, and he was someplace else. And again, because no one has presented me with the direct information, nobody said, come to me, Dave, here is that medical report. No, again, it's what we're hearing, it's what we're picking up, and we'll take it with a grain of salt. But what we are picking up, what we're hearing, what's being leaked, is that this individual had 10 controlled substances in his system at the time of his death. Now, this was released a couple of days after he passed away. And people are going, oh, that's shenanigans. There's no way. So-and-so, uncle, it took them 6 months to get the toxicology report. Well, it's true. It's true. But there's a thing called urine samples. And again, those urine samples, it doesn't take long to get a response as to what's going on. So if there was urine in the bladder at his time of death, they just would extract that, run the test, and it would tell them. So again, this individual is getting all these accolades. Again, greatest drummer. The Foo Fighters never had a better drummer. It's the only drummer. Again, different situations, but everyone was praising him. He'll be missed and all this, and I understand. He made some friends. Apparently, he was a personable kind of guy. That's fine. The issue is that even after the news leaked of the 10 substances in his system, marijuana, amphetamines, barbiturates, so other types of narcotics were in his system, it continued with you'll be missed, you'll be great. And that's fine. Yes, he'll be missed. And he was a family man, but was he really truly a family man? He was a great dad. How was he a great dad if he was taking all those drugs? How was he a great dad if he was out there partying and ingesting these controlled substances? And don't start with the everybody has demons, because again, everybody does have demons. We all have them. It's what we choose to do with them. Leaders, how does this impact you? Again, we haven't heard thing one from the leader of the band that he was the drummer for. He hasn't said anything. Again, you get out in front of it. You talk to your people. You talk to your staff and let them know that, hey, this is the standard. This is not condoned. This type of behavior is not condoned, whether you are representing yourself on the weekends after hours, or you're representing the organization during the workday, or on a travel business trip, you're still representing the organization. This type of behavior is not condoned, because again, it's about being a professional. It's about delivering what needs to be delivered, accomplishing the mission, completing the goals. It's not about anything else. And again, when you're on those drugs, when you're on that type of medication or self-medication, you're not performing at 100%. You're actually a liability to the organization. And leaders, again, that's why you must set the standard, let them know what the standard and the expectations are, and understand that what happens should they violate that. Now, again, it's my personal opinion about how I feel about him as a human being, as a father, as a husband, as a family man. Again, because he didn't stop to consider those situations. He was there. I get it. You're on the road. Well, he wasn't young. He was only 50. So his young days were already way behind him. There goes my hero kind of thing. Way back there. So that situation is moot. That part is moot. He's not a kid anymore. Now he should know better. Now he's got his responsibilities. He's 50 years old. He's a kid. To me, he's a kid. And it should not have happened that way. Again, but what was the standard? What was that individual, the leader of the band, who, again, is coming from a different band with kind of same self-destructive situation was going on in that band. Now this guy moves on to the new band, forms a new band, and now this. So he's got a history. He understands. And again, if you're not conveying that message, and I know people will say, well, you can't invade their private lives. But yes, if it makes your product, your brand, your organization look bad, guess what you do get a chance to do? Guess what you have to do? Either they shape up or you send them packing. They have to go because they're going to bring your brand down. They're going to bring your organization down. They're going to bring you as a leader down because, again, you're tolerating that type of behavior. Whether you're saying something or not, if you're not saying anything and you know it exists, you know it's going on, then you're tacitly approving it. And that you might as well be shouting it from the rooftops that, yes, you do approve of what's going on. And that, my friends, is not a good thing. So at the end of the day, love that. It is your responsibility as a human being, first and foremost, as a human being, not as anything else. Not as the boss, not as the manager, not as the leader, but as a human being. We're here to look out for each other. We're here to help take care of each other to some degree. However, we also sometimes just need to let people know, hey, look, I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and this is going to stop. Or you can't be near me. You can't be around me. And, I've had to do that in my life. We've all had to do that. And again, because at some point you just see the train wreck is coming, and all you can do is just pull up a lawn chair and watch it unfold. Because again, you can go over there, put things on the tracks, divert the tracks, switch tracks, whatever you need to do, and it's still going and heading for a crash. Then at some point you've just got to detach yourself from that and just say, told you so. Because again, as a leader, as a human being, you are responsible to bring to light the fact of what they're not seeing because they are living in that clouded, hazy state. And as a leader, you cannot afford to be, because if you want to be a leader, then you have to be setting that example. I've said it time and time again. Failing to set the example, well, you get what you get. And in this case, the example is not letting people know that, hey, you're onto them and they need to stop that destructive type of behavior, because it's not good for them. It's not good for their children. It's not good for their family. It's not good for their spouse. It's not good for the brand. It's not good for the organization. And yes, in this case, because this individual is doing this, is performing this task, it's business. But when he can no longer perform that task because of those his habits, the bad habits that individual has moved themselves into and cannot break those bad habits, well, guess what? Time to take away the business side of it, and now it's going to affect the personal side. So there is no separation. There really is no separation. If one is bringing home the bacon and all of a sudden that's gone, then who's going to eat the bacon, right? You can't fry it up in a pan if there's nothing to put into the pan. There we go. So listen, do your job as a leader. Be aware of what's going on. We're not asking you to invade their lives, but you know what? If you know what's happening, ask them to seek help. Ask them to get help, because in the end, it's going to affect everyone, at home, at work, everywhere. Okay, now let's talk about a leadership issue, a leadership concern, and let's see what we can do about that. Communication. That's it. That's the top one, is communication. You as a leader, It's real simple. I've said this multiple times. I've mentioned it in other episodes, past episodes. If you listen to my podcast, if you've followed me for any time, my books, everything I've done, Instagram, everything, there's one kind of, well, no, it's not kind of, it is there. It's one continuous theme that underlines everything. It goes through everything I've ever done. Everything. And that's communication. Communication leaders, it is your responsibility to communicate with people. It's your responsibility to initiate the conversation. As a leader, you initiate the conversation. Those that don't and are in management positions that do not initiate the conversation, guess what? You're going to get yourself what you're giving them. Nothing. That's exactly it. Then you're going to wonder why. Why am I getting nothing? Because again, you don't initiate the conversation. We're not talking, passing down, this is the latest directive from HR. This is the latest directive from the president, the CEO. This is the latest directive from the chief technology officer. No. What it is that can be part of the conversation, but that cannot be the only thing that your people hear from you, your staff hear from you, your followers hear from you, because that's all they're going to equate you to. Oh, well, this person only just does this. We're going to go to a staff meeting and all they just do is deliver the directives from above them. Not an original thought in their mind. It's true, it happens. But what does not have to happen is that. What does have to happen is ensuring that there is a dialogue, that you're launching into a dialogue, that you are the one asking the first question. How are you today? Don't wait for someone to come up and ask you. You say, hello, how are you today? Is there anything I can do for you today? Is there anything that you're stalled out on that I need my assistance? Not anything, hey, is there something going on that's going to make me look bad? That's not a question. That's nonsense. Because then again, that's all they want to hear from you. Anything that's going to make them look bad. That's not a leader. That's a manager. That's a bad manager. Promise you. Look it up. Bad manager. One that's more worried about what it's going to look like to them and how they're going to look at the end of the day. Because obviously they're prepared to let it roll downhill on top of you. No, is there anything that's bogging you down that I can assist you with before it grows to something big? Again, because little things do grow big if you're left unattended. It happens. So again, as a leader, your level of communication needs to be head and shoulders above everyone else in your group. Again, you're setting that example. Then when it's their turn to be leaders, they're going to say, hey, my previous person, whoever it happened to be, always asked this questions. I'm going to start asking the questions because things get done that way. The process moves. The flow flows. It goes. It's like it just flows. Like somebody opened up the dam and the water just doesn't stop because it just keeps moving because it's not going to stop water. Water will not stop. Well, the same thing. When you ask that question, hi, how are you? You're doing well? Good. Is there anything I can do for you today? Is there anything that's bogging you down that you need my assistance with? There you go. Water's moving and you're asking those questions, not pulling any punches, not hemming and hawing, and not hoping that someone's going to ask you the question. You as a leader have to initiate the questions. You as that leader have to initiate the questions in an expectation of a answer, a response, a dialogue. You begin the dialogue that way because then everything starts going and coming back at you. It's not one-sided. Anybody that does the one-sided conversations, oh, by the way, do this, or you're going to have to do that, that is a bad manager in the making. And if a good leader will recognize that, and a good leader will tell them, hey, don't be a bully. Don't be a bully, because that's the beginning of a bully right there. Bad managers, bullying. If you ever had a bully in high school or during school and now you see them many years later, I had a bully where I worked at once, and now I saw him not so long ago. He's still a bully. Because no one has put them in their place, and they've gone so far to remain a bully that, again, nothing's going to help until one day they realize, wait a minute, no one's coming to me with answers. No one's coming to me for suggestions. Again, because bullies eventually get put aside, get cut off to the side. It's those dialogues, the ones that have the dialogue, the ones that are out there sharing and communicating with people and making people feel good about themselves and talking to their leaders. Then and only then is there success in the group. Is there success between the two, the three, the four, the five, however many people are in the group. And that is a very good thing. So do what you can to ensure that dialogue is always happening. Do what you can to ensure that the lines of communication are always open. They never close, even if it's the littlest thing. But you as a leader, if you're hearing silence for too long, I haven't heard from Dave in a while, I'm going to ask him how he's doing. Make sure you are reaching out and you are asking how they're doing. Is there anything I can assist you with? You have what you need? That's a big one right there. Do you have what you need to accomplish your task? Yes or no? And sometimes you'll say, well, I was making do with this, or you'll hear, I was making do with this, boom. All you have to do is ask. Well, I didn't know. Yes, now you do know. So going forward. And then you'll see, as time goes by, you're asking the questions first, then they start coming to you first. They're going to try to get ahead of you. See, now you're leading by example. So either way, do what you can to keep the lines of communication open. No two ways around it. They must be open. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you. We've reached the end of today's show. Thank you for making it this far, listening. I do invite you to, well, up here is to all my social media channels. Yeah, right up here. So please be sure to visit, sign up, follow. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe this video, and don't forget to make comments or suggestions if you want to see something else. Also, so down below, also don't forget, comments, suggestions, whatever you want, down, plenty of room to write down there in the show notes. And again, I'll be back next week with another episode. So again, I do thank you for following. I do thank you for watching. I do thank you for whatever you're doing. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think of the show. I really want to hear from you down below. But again, don't forget to visit the social media channel, sign up, follow there. A lot of great stuff there as well. And again, until next week, have yourself a good week. Don't forget, as a leader, you got to get out there, talk to them. So do it.